PD Wiz, Carmichael Rules, 2014.
I'm gonna f so much of this up.
I said to John, Quincy Adams, Ulysses S. Grant to the Barack Hussein Obama. Yeah, we're dropping fresh beats about commanders-in-chief, presidents of the United States. Now the real OG, my man G-Dubs, won by the unanimous vote. But he passed down the mic after just 2 terms, saying parties weren't the way to go. Then next in line, my main man Johnny Adams passes alien sedition acts. Appointed martial as chief, handled XYZ, but his VP thought he was whack.
Check it out, Tommy Jeff, 3rd Pres, was a strict constructionist, yet he bought Louisiana from France. Was a president setter, an enlightenment leader, and one of our best presidents. James Madison led the War of 1812, cause you know that he was dank. Was the Constitution's father, don't forget he chartered our 2nd national bank.
Straight up, Monroe went and bought up Florida towards the beginning of his career. And most famously, his doctrine kept European powers out the Western Hemisphere. Next, Quincy came and got real down to earth, bringing down our national debt. He was a great diplomat, but only served 1 term since AJ was a threat.
Old Hickory brought his spoils system as a president of the people. But when it came to Indians, now we gotta admit, Trail of Tears was pretty evil. Big MVB was feeling pretty hot till the panic in 37. Turns out he didn't have the economic tools to prevent a 5-year recession.
My boy William Henry Harrison gave his inauguration address right in the rain. Well, next thing you know, Willie caught pneumonia, held office just 31 days. His successor JT wrote up so many vetoes that the Whigs straight kicked him out. So we sought to annex the Repub of Tex just to show him what he was about.
Now James K. Polk won in California and New Mexico. So we grew our country by 1/3 with the Treaty of Hidalgo. Up next, Zach Taylor preserved the Union trying to contain slavery, but then he bit the dust after 16 months due to bilious diarrhea.
Fillmore brought up a political shift, saying yes to this compromise, but he turned out to be just another guy that all the Whigs despised. Now Mex-Am war vet Doughface Pierce held a term that was pretty sore, and the same can be said for Buchanan, who could not prevent the war.
Once the South seceded from the Union, Lincoln sought a solution, gave a proclamation to end slavery and amended the Constitution. The assassination of Abraham was Johnson's introduction, got impeached by Congress after seeking radical reconstruction.
Next, Ulysses S. Grant took the seat following his success in the Civil War, gave justice to Native Americans, and made the standard of golden ore. My man R.B. Hayes lost the popular vote, but got elected anyway. He reformed civil service, stopped the railroad strike, and opposed discrimination by race.
Man, Jimmy Garfield got elected, and then he got shot!
What, that's it? That's your verse?
I mean, he got shot, man. 6-month term. Garfield didn't do jack.
Well, he did a few things. He established the authority of the president over the Senate and executive appointments. He was a big advocate for civil rights.
Jack, shut up, okay?
But
just shut up.
Fine.
C.A. Arthur signed the Pendleton Act right into law, oversaw the rebirth of the Navy even when no one had faith at all. Grover regulated railroads, Commerce Act, interstate, and then he cleaned up that whole treasury crisis after taking a 4-year break.
Now in between Cleveland's 2 terms, y'all forgot about Harrison. He was the first to regulate monopolies with the act written by Sherman. Yo, during the Spanish War, Will McKinley led us to victory. Not to mention, he raised protective tariffs to promote our industry.
A Rough Rider Teddy sought regulation of food with his morale, and you know that he did everything it took to build his damn canal. Soon Big Willie Taft's domestic agenda emphasized trust busting. He improved our country's postal service and passed Amendment 16.
My man Woody tried to keep us out of the war, but eventually gave in. He instituted the draft, but everybody laughed at his poor demobilization. Next, Harding took the seat and promised a return to normalcy. He reformed welfare, but to this day, his death is a mystery.
Then Silent Cal picked up the mic in a time of prosperity. He reduced the size of gov programs before passing down the seat. Herbert Hoover got in office just in time for depression to hit. And he may have been an engineer, but his politics weren't legit.
So look out, Hoover, y'all better move for Franklin Delano. And if you tell me Hoover had a chance, then let me say, oh hell no. Said a new deal, FDR's plan. He brought aid to biz, unemployed, and farmers till the world war's end.
After no surrender, Truman unleashed the atomic bomb on Japan. And under his doctrine, then the Marshall Plan, communism got contained. Boy, under Dwight D. Eisenhower, a Korean truce we saw. The guy urged for desegregation, sent troops to Arkansas.
Soon JFK oversaw the space race and the Bay of Pigs invasion. He advocated civil rights and more Vietnam fights up until his assassination. Next, LBJ sought to enhance Social Security and Medicare. But he got bad press when the public thought our involvement wasn't fair.
Under Dick, we saw our first moon landing and foreign relations were great. But the guy resigned once Congress knew of the affair of Watergate. To keep America peaceful, Ford made sure that Nixon got a pardon. He made moves to improve our deal with Russia cause the country needed garden.
Jimmy Carter made new cabinet departments for energy and education. But he only got to serve one term cause he could not stop inflation. Sir Ronnie brought trickle-down economics as an actor turned president. Declared a war on drugs and he went straight thug when he condemned the Russian government.
As Reagan's VP, Bush took the seat and watched the USSR dissolve. But he lost after a term cause when it came to taxes he couldn't keep his promise at all. Under President Clinton, all Americans saw a successful time for each. He got NAFTA signed and his career was fine up until he got impeached.
Next, George Bush Jr. faced challenges in response to terrorist attacks. We saw a change in homeland security while we're hanging out in Iraq. Obama brought change to the country as the first president who wasn't white. He signed economic stimulus and Obamacare seems pretty tight.
Well, I gotta say, Jack, it wasn't easy, but we got all 44.
What you thinking we'll get as a final grade?
Man, I'm picking a perfect score.
Everybody go, new deal, FDR's plan. He brought aid to biz, unemployed, and farmers till the world war's end. I said a new deal,